All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High for this right here, man. This is rare, in these last days. You can't just hang out with people that keeping the Lord's commandments and feast days. It's rare, so it's a blessing that we're able to do this all together. So we're gonna go into the history of Purim. This feast day that we celebrate, we just leaving out of the destruction of Nicanor, the day of Judas Maccabees, to come into this feast day right here, of redemption, mercy, compassion, and, death to the Edomites, basically. You know what I'm saying? Death to our enemies, the Amalekites, the fake Jewish imposters that's over there right now claiming to be us. So that's the spirit that we coming in. So we're going to go into the origins of the festival that's mentioned in the book of Esther, right? And we're going to go into details of how the celebration started and why it was given to us. So let's start in the book of Esther, the first chapter, in the first verse. And we're going to do some reading, all right? We're going to do some reading tonight. Esther chapter 1 and verse 1.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, this Ahasuerus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 127 provinces.
Right, so King Ahasuerus, also known as King Xerxes the first, right? He ruled over the Persian Empire. He was the ruler over the Persian Empire, right? In the 12th year of his reign, it signifies a specific point in time on the timeline, right? That's what we're going into. Read.
And though that in those days, when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and the Media, and the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Read.
When he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honors of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days. When these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace.
Right, so he was throwing a party, right? He was throwing a party for the whole entire palace, man, for the whole entire village. Read.
Both unto great and small, 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace, where were white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of fine linen, and purple to silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon a pavement of red, and blue, and white, and black, and marble.
Read.
And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse one from another, and royal wine in abundance, according to the state of the king.
Read.
And the drink was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure.
Right, so the king was flexing his power, his wealth, right, throwing this huge party for a celebration, right? He was turned up. He had the whole palace turned up, and I think he partied for a while. He didn't just party like a short amount of time. He partied for a long time. I think for like a half a year he was partying, right? Verse 9, read.
Also Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
Right, so Vashti the queen, his wife, she was throwing her own party too. So she had a party within a party, right, with her homegirls. Her king is throwing a party for everybody. She's like, let me throw a party for my homegirl. Read.
On the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mahoman, Biztha, Pabana, Bigtha, Abagatha, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king.
Right. So these were noble men that was subservient with him inside the palace. Right. They was his like right hand men, so to say. Read.
To bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for her was fair to look at. For she was fair to look on.
Right, so the king's heart was merry with wine, so he was feeling good. He was feeling himself. You know what I'm saying? He was feeling real nice. He like, you know what? Let me bring my rib in. Y'all go get my rib so I could bring her in and show her off. Right? That was the spirit he was in. And he wasn't wrong for that because she was fair to look upon. He wanted to show off his rib. Verse 12, read.
But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned within him.
Right, so she refused to hearken to what the king said. Right, and with that being said, he got angry. He got upset. Right? Why the hell my rib not listening to what I tell her to do? Right? He was upset. Read.
Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment.
Read.
And the next unto him was Karshina and Shethar and Amatha and Tarshish and Merez and Marcina and Mamukin.
And Mamukin, read.
The 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face and which sat the first in the kingdom.
Right, so those was the 7 princes of Persia, right, and Media. They weren't just anybody, right? They weren't just no names hanging around the king. You know what I'm saying? They was the princes, the 7 princes. And they saw the countenance on the face of the king when she refused his command. You know what I'm saying? So just like, you know, women at times can be very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? They could be very disrespectful, but this is the king, right? This ain't just no regular peon or no somebody that's just sitting in just out of, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no regular Joe Blow.
And she the queen.
And she the queen, right? So this she's a spectacle to the whole entire city, the whole entire Persian and Median empire, right? So when they see the queen disrespecting the king, everybody gonna speak about it. And the king know that, right? Everybody know that. The princes know that, the nobles know that, and she just refused. The Most High put a spirit on her to refuse his order, right? Next verse. What verse we at?
15.
15. Bring that out, King.
What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law? Because she has not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains.
Right, so now they taking counsel against the queen. Read.
And Mamukin answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen has not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Right, so her rebellion wasn't only towards the king, right? She offended the princes, right? She offended the people that's in the provinces. She offended the whole community by disregarding what the king asked her to do, and he didn't ask her to do much. It wasn't really much he asked her to do except for come here, right? So it was a triple effect. It affected everybody in the community. Read.
Salakia. For this deed of the queen shall come.
Verse 16, King.
Salakia. Oh. And Mamukin answered before the king and the princess Vashti, the queen has not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Right, so she did wrong to everybody. Read.
For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not.
Right. So Mamukin, he going in.
Right.
Mamukin going in, man, because for the deed of the queen, it done came to everybody. So all the women in the palace, right, and across the whole nation, done witnessed this disrespect, this rebellion, and it's going to affect them. So now the women gonna uprise against the men in their households. Like, hey, I ain't gotta listen to you, nigga. The queen didn't listen to the king.
Right.
Who the hell is you? You ain't even the king. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it trickled down. It influenced. It could have influenced the behavior of the women in the city if there wasn't nothing done about it. Right? Read, bring that out.
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia. I read that one.
No, you right there.
Okay.
Verse 18.
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the kings, princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen.
Right.
Okay.
Read.
Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let her go a royal commandment from him. Let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
And that's the solution for the situation, right? Since she don't want to come, let her not ever come again, and now she's going to be replaced. It was that simple, right? It was that simple. You know what I'm saying? They wrote it into law that she was not to come before the king again, and she got stripped of her title as the queen, and now she's about to be replaced, right? And this is where the story take its course. We just going into the history of the situation, the history of Purim, and why we celebrate it is because the Most High put a spirit on the king's wife, the Persian king Ahasuerus, right? A heathen king. He put a spirit on the wife to rebel against him to set up Esther in her stead. Right? Verse 20, read.
And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great. All the wives shall give their husbands honor, both to great and small.
Right, so even the heathen had that understanding of the rank and order. You know what I'm saying? Even the heathen had that understanding. A lot of our people don't even have that understanding today, man. A lot of our people exalt women, you know what I'm saying? They put them on a pedestal, you know, they let the woman rule the house, you know what I'm saying? But this heathen had the sense enough to, hey, let me lead by example and show the rest of the world, right? Show the rest of this Persian Median empire that, hey, the woman don't wear the pants in the house, right? The men do. So after he took this initiative, it reflected on the whole community. Now everybody like, okay, the women are back in subjection. They're like, oh, we know not to do this to our husband. Because look what happened to the queen. You know, it could have easily went the other way. You know what I'm saying? They had the women on the feminist movement. You know what I'm saying? But he shut it down. Well, your boy Memucan shut it down. He was like, hey, this is what we finna do. One of the princes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So next verse, read.
And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Mamukin.
Khan, read.
For he sent letters into all the king's provinces.
Salakia, Mamukin wasn't playing.
Nah, he
was hot. He was more mad than the king was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That nigga was hot. He was like, she just disrespected the. Oh hell no.
His wife, he probably going through it with his bread.
Like,
challenged him right there, looked at him like, what?
What you gonna do about it? Oh yeah, I got something. I'm finna do something about it right now. We finna write this into law. Read.
For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Right. So he sent letters out. Every man shall bear rule in his own house, man. That's just what it is. Every man shall bear rule in his own house. The Most High put us in a position to lead our household in righteousness, right? Not in wickedness. He don't want us to rule our house in wickedness. He want us to rule our house according to the laws of the Most High. Now, this is a heathen speaking. They not dealing with the laws of the Most High, but the Most High want his children, his sons, to lead their households the right way, in order, according to the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it should be published according to the language of every people. So he wrote it in different languages so everybody can understand. Right? Now let's get chapter 2.
All right. Chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. Then said the king, servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king. And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the woman, unto the custody of heads the king's chamberlain, keeper of the woman, and let their things be pure, things for purification be given to them.
Right, so they brought in a plethora of young virgins, man. Right, a plethora of them. And they going through a purification ritual for the king, because he finna choose one of them to be his wife. Right? Read.
And let the maiden which pleases the king be the queen instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so.
So just like that, the queen is being replaced, right? For publicly humiliating the king, right? And everybody probably didn't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody probably didn't look at it like that because it happened so fast, right? He got her out of there so fast. They're like, oh, he did that for no reason. No, it was for a good reason, right? Because, like I said earlier, man, the women of the city or the village or the palace, they see the queen behaving like this, they're going to bring that spirit to their household. And it's going to destroy their household, right? It say a wise woman plucketh down her house, man. And that's basically what she did, right? So she's being replaced. Read.
Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew, whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shema, the son of Kish, a Benjamite, who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
Right, so now he's going into Mordecai, right? The Benjamite, right? Mordecai is a powerful man in Israel, man. He's a powerful man, and he show us how to be a father to the fatherless, right? A lot of us here in Babylon, we have children, or we have a household with other people's kids in it. Right? Other men done had children with the ribs that we with, you know what I'm saying? And now we're with these ribs, but we still got to be a father to their children. He was the prime example of showing how to be a father to the fatherless. That's why I got a lot of respect for Mordecai the Benjamite, man. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for brothers to be a father to other people's kids. Just like, I guess that's the lion in us. You know what I'm saying? Because a lion, the nature of a lion is, if a lion get with a female lion that already have children, that lion is gonna kill them other kids. He gonna kill them. You know what I'm saying? That's just how nature is, man. He not dealing with blood that ain't his, right? But Mordecai, he took in his I want to say it's either his little cousin or his niece, because her parents died. So he took her in with no hesitation. He didn't turn her over to a foster home or to the system like a lot of people do. Like, oh no, I ain't getting no more children. You know what I'm saying? I already got enough children. It's hard to feed these children. You know what I'm saying? So he took in his, I want to say his niece or his little cousin, but we're gonna get into it. Next verse, King, read.
And he brought up Hadassah.
Salakia, we're on verse number 7, y'all. Esther chapter 2 and verse 7. Read.
Okay. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's
his uncle's daughter. What would that make her? His cousin.
His cousin.
Right, his cousin. His uncle's daughter. That's his cousin. All right.
Read.
Come on.
So it's saying he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter. So she changed her name here?
Right. So her Hebrew name is Hadass.
Okay.
Right? Hadassah. Right. That's her Hebrew name. Her Persian name is Esther.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
okay.
we have our Hebrew names and then we have our Babylonian names. You know what I'm saying? So her Hebrew name is Hadassah and her Persian name is Esther.
So are we saying that, okay, and Mordecai, he's a Jew. So
he's a Jew.
So she going by her Hebrew name.
She going by her Hebrew name in his house. Come.
Okay.
And he teaching her the ways of the Most High.
Okay. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
See, he took her for his own daughter after the parents died. All right, he took her in, open arms, right? And he treated her like she was one of his own. And that's hard for a lot of people to do in today's time, man. It's a burden to people to bring in more children, to adopt children, or whatever, right? But he took in his cousin, his little cousin. He took her in. Read, verse 8.
So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace to the custody of H.O.I, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house to the custody of H.O.I, keeper of the women.
Right, so Esther was brought in to the custody of H.O.I, the keeper of women, because she was one of the women that was chosen to potentially be the wife of the king. Right, read.
And the maiden pleased him, and she, am I right? Yeah, and the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her things for purification, with such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens which were meet, which were good to be given to her out of the king's house.
Right, so the king had the women purifying themselves, right? You're not just finna come in and I choose you and that's it. No, it's finna take some time. This wasn't a next day process or a next week, next month type of thing. It took like a year for him to choose his new rib, you know, to really vet everybody like he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just an overnight thing. Read.
And he preferred her and her maids.
What verse we at, King?
We on verse 9. We at the end of verse 9. I'll read verse 9 over from the top.
Okay, King.
All right. This is Esther chapter 2, verse 9. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him. And he speedily gave her things for purification, with such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens which were meet to be given her out of the king's house, and he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women.
And you see, the Most High can put the curses that's on our people. He can also put them on the heathens, because that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? The curse of Deuteronomy, when it says Deuteronomy 28 and I want to say 54, if I'm not mistaken, when he say the wife shall have an evil eye towards her husband and towards her children. That's what happened to the queen. She had an evil eye towards her husband, and guess what? Now she got put up out of there. You know what I'm saying? The Most High could put the curses on the heathens too, and make us, receive the benefits from it. And that's what's about to happen too in these last days. The Most High finna start putting the curses on these heathens, because right now in Israel, we the only nation of people that get disrespected by our women. You know what I'm saying? That get embarrassed by our women because of their behaviors. We the only nation, right? You be in the grocery store in Walmart, you see Eve ripping into Jake, man. Just giving them the business in front of everybody. You F nigga, you don't do that. Just cussing them out in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Attitudes, all that in front of everybody.
That's Deuteronomy 28, 56.
56. Con, the water. Bring that out, King. Deuteronomy 28 and 56.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Meaning, Salaki, that's meaning she won't set her foot on the ground, meaning she ain't going to abide in the street. She ain't going to be to and fro in the streets all day, every day, like a lot of women be. Right? Her foot won't touch the ground, meaning she going to be in her crib, holding down the household. She ain't going to be at the clubs. She ain't going to be at the bar. She ain't going to be at the trap house. Right? She going to be in her crib. Read.
Okay.
Read it from the top.
Yeah. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter.
Right? So the Most High turned a tender and delicate woman who had respect for the head of her household, who had respect for the Most High. He took that respect away completely. Right? Now she has an evil eye towards her husband and toward her children. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, the Most High he's the Father of spirits, man. He could take spirits from you, and he could put spirits on you, right? And that's scary, man. But in these last days, the heathens are about to feel these curses. You know what I'm saying? Just like we had to feel them, experience them, and endure them. And a lot of these heathens ain't going to endure them curses, man. They want to be us, right? They want to be Israel, but they don't want to be Israel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They want the blessings.
They want the blessings. They don't want the curses.
Boy, they try to wiggle their way out of that. And we sitting there telling them, Salaka, we sitting there telling them, we having this conversation because our forefathers, 18, 28, 32 generations of us broke the law, statutes, and commandments, and we over here footing the bill. So what make you any different?
Yeah, our forefathers ran out on the tab, man. They left us at the table sitting there. We got in trouble, you know what I'm saying?
Alligator hand. Alligator arm. I'll take the bill.
I'll take it. Yeah, but it's coming to a time where these heathens finna feel the repercussions of these curses the more we come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, now back to Esther 2 and what was that?
2 and 11.
2 and 11. Bring that out, King.
2 and 10.
2 and 10.
Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, but Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
Read.
And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the woman's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
So Mordecai was molding her as a father would, that wanted their daughter to become queen, right? So he taught her how to be proper, mannerisms. You know what I'm saying? How to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? He was there guiding her, and he was checking up on her as a father would. How my daughter doing? How she's doing today? How's Esther doing? Is she okay? Is she excelling, or did she have any trouble? He was there guiding her. Read.
And now, verse 12. Now, when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months according to the manner of the woman, for so were the days of their purification accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, 6 months of sweet odor with sweet odors, and with other things for purifying of the woman.
Right. So
Damn.
before these women came to the king, they had to purify themselves with sweet mirth. Right. They had to bathe in wine and grapes and berries. You know what I'm saying?
It had to be seeping out their pores.
It had to be seeping out their pores, man. They had to be eating right. They had to be smelling good for 6 months at a time. 6 months of what do you say? The days 12 months.
It was a year, like so 6 months.
6 months of oil and myrrh, and 6 months of sweet odors and other things to purify themselves.
Right.
So that was consistent. They're not just coming to the king any kind of way. Like Shaquisha coming to the man, you know, just smelling like cigarettes and Black and Milds. You know what I'm saying? And a couple squirts of some Chanel perfume.
Smell like scores.
Yeah, right? Smelling like other men. You know what I'm saying? No, he had to purify them women. And they was already virgins. They was already pure, but they had to purify themselves even more. Verse 13, read.
Then thus came every maiden unto the king. Whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the women, to the custody of Shashgaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name.
Right, so the king delighted in Esther. She was fair, she was beautiful, And the king delighted in her, and he called her by name. Read.
Yeah. Now when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but the H.O.I, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her.
Right, so Esther had favor, man. She was blessed and highly favored by the Most High. Right? She got all the attention. She got all the eyes. Right? Read.
So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month, which is in the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign.
Right, so she was taken to Ahasuerus in the 10th month, which is Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. That's the number of completion. Right? Read.
And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head, and made her queen instead of Vashti.
And Vashti, he made her queen instead of Vashti. Right? That just shows you that Israel have the most beautiful women. You know what I'm saying? We have the most beautiful women on the planet. You know what I'm saying? That's without a doubt. We have the most beautiful women out of all the nations on the earth. Our women are the best, right? Even the Persian king thought that a Hebrew Israelite woman was the best over a Persian woman, right? Read.
Then the king made a great feast unto all princes and his servants, even Esther's feast, and he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king.
Read.
And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth, and sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus.
Right, so these two wicked men was plotting right? These two wicked men was plotting on King Ahasuerus, right?
They was jealous.
They was jealous. They was jealous
Right.
of those. They kept the doors of the king, and they sought to lay hands on him. They sought to kill him. They sought his life. Read.
And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther the queen, and Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
Right, so this thing was known to Mordecai. Mordecai got the wind of it. Right, the uncle, right, or the cousin, her Esther's big cousin, Mordecai, who raised her as his own daughter. He caught wind of these two men trying to kill King Ahasuerus, and he let it be known. Right, he let it be known. So they got put to death. They got hanged on a tree, man, for trying to kill the king. So you know how the king feeling like, dang, my man turned on me. You know what I'm saying? And here go this Hebrew Israelite gentleman over here, this Hebrew Israelite warrior over here. He done gave me the scoop. And then come to find out, hey, that's Esther's cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already got favor, Esther got favor with the king. So now Mordecai got favor with the king for saving his life, man.
And that's
right.
And that bond between her and the king is super strong now.
Super strong. Keeping it in the family, man.
Pops is for me like that.
Right? Now let's get chapter 3.
Okay.
We're going to get chapter 3, and now we're going to start breaking this thing on down.
All right. This is the book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Right, so this going into this Edomite, this Amalekite, Haman, right? He's an Agagite, meaning he's part of the Amalek family, right? He's a well-known man to the Persian and Median Empire. He's high ranked. You know what I'm saying? He's just not a nobody. You know what I'm saying? Ahasuerus, that's like Ahasuerus' right-hand man in the kingdom, right? And he wanted everybody to bow to him. He wanted everybody to bow to him, and Mordecai wasn't bowing, right? And the reason Mordecai didn't bow is because we're going to get into it. It goes into the Apocrypha, right? Because Mordecai had a dream, right? Not to bow to this man, right?
Not to mention, he just got promoted because Mordecai told them that these men was attempting to kill the king. He just executed the order that the king said to hang him, right?
Right.
He didn't do nothing special.
Right.
Okay, all right, then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgresseth thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew.
Right, he let them know his identity. I'm a Jew, man. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not bowing to no damn Amalekite.
And we've been in
right?
forever.
The Most High say he gonna have war with Amalek for generation to generation, man. We're gonna always be at war with these people, always. Right? Go to the editions of Esther and the Apocrypha. I want to say the first chapter in the 4th verse. Additions to Esther.
I was reading verse 5. I'm going to read it real quick. And it says, and when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. That's how you know he was an Edomite. Because, I remember, past experiences at camp, Esau get that let me shake your hand spirit. Mm-hmm. And when you don't want to shake their hand, and he pisses them off.
They get mad.
It's a form of you're gonna show me my respect, boy. You're gonna shake my hand.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that same type of spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why this nigga not bowing down to
Right.
me?
Why don't he fear me? Why does he? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Come on.
That'd be pissing me so off, man.
That's facts, man. That's facts. Yeah. Go to the edition of the books of Esther, chapter 10, and it's gonna start at the fourth verse. The fourth verse.
Chapter verse.
The additions to the book of Esther, chapter 10 and verse 4 from the top.
Chapter 10 and 4 from the top.
So this is gonna go into the dream that Mordecai had, and it's gonna give us the reason why he didn't bow down, because he already knew what time it was, man. The Most High sealeth our instructions when we sleep. He speak to us through dreams and visions. So that's how he talked to us.
You want to start at the top?
Yeah, at the top.
This is the book of Esther.
Additions to Esther.
This is the additions to Esther, the book of Esther. And this is
Chapter 10.
chapter 10, verse 4.
Yeah, that's where it starts. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then
Mardocheus is Mordecai.
Okay.
But it's in the, I want to say it's in the,
Greek?
is it Greek? No, I think it's Syrian. I think, is it Greek? It might be in the Greek. Oh, yeah, in the Greek. Yeah, that's the Greek. Salaki. Right? That's Mordecai in the Greek.
Okay.
Right?
Then Mardocheus said, God hath done these things. For I remember a dream which I saw concerning these matters.
He saw a dream. He got a dream and he saw it concerning these matters, right? Read.
And nothing thereof hath failed. A little fountain became a river, and there was light, and the sun, and much water.
Right. So now he's telling you the symbolism in his dream.
Right.
Read that from the top again. The river became what?
Okay. A little river became a river, and there was light, and the sun, and much water. This river is Esther.
That river was Esther. She was a little river, then she became a river, a big river. She was a small deal, then she became a big deal when she became queen. Read.
Whom the king married and made queen.
Mm-hmm.
And the two dragons are I and Ammon.
And Ammon, that's Haman, right?
Okay.
The one he didn't bow to. The two dragons is Mordecai and Ammon. Read.
Right. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
And the nation were those that were assembled to destroy the Jews, man. Right? So Mordecai had this dream, he had this vision, and when he saw Haman telling them to bow down to them, he like, hell no. You ain't finna destroy us. I ain't bowing down to you. I don't worship you. The hell I look like? That was kind of like Daniel them. They didn't bow down to the statue of that Nebuchadnezzar made. Right? They was the only ones willing to die for what they believed in. Right? So let's jump back to Esther 3 and verse 5.
Okay.
Back in the OT.
Okay. This is the book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
Right, so that alone started a war between the Jews and the Amalekites, right? Because the Benjamite Mordecai, he wouldn't bow down. He wouldn't reverence this damn devil, man, right? So now this devil got it in his heart to kill all of us because he mad at this one He like, man, the hell with all of them. I don't like none of them.
We carrying on tradition, both of them.
Con. But the Most High said that he will make war with Amalek from generation to generation. We always gonna have smoke with each other. That's just the enmity that the Most High put between us and them, right? The rivalry. It's always gonna be there, man. It's always been a rivalry between us. That ain't gonna never change. Even since we was in the womb, there was a rivalry, right? It's always been a war. Why black people versus white people? Why is that? Because the Most High set it up that way. That's why. Good versus evil, light versus darkness. What's going on?
And it's crazy because you see that now playing out through the whole Cat Williams situation. Hollywood, the music industry, that's all ran by Amalek. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these artists speaking out against Amalek. So you kind of see that spirit even within that industry, you know, and those things too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta,
yeah, it's exposing a lot with them damn devils, man, because they run Hollywood, they run the music industry. And when you watch a damn movie, you watching a movie, it's a good movie. Next thing you know, two niggas kissing.
Yeah.
But next thing you know, it's a damn transgender walking there or something. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and then you hearing a bunch of vile stuff. I had put on the movie Strays with Jamie Foxx and Will Ferrell. They was talking as dogs, right? I only got like 15 minutes into the movie, we had to cut it off. My real life, baby, cut that off, please. I'm like, cut it off. You know what I'm saying? It's just vile. Why you got a bunch of gay jokes? Why you got to put that in the movie in the first place, man? The movie would have been good without that. You know what I'm saying? Why you got to put? I never understood, but now that we in this truth, I know Amalek run Hollywood. He run the music industry.
Same spirit. Man.
Same spirit.
Same spirit.
You got Cain, you got Esau, that same spirit.
Yeah.
Same spirit. We just regenerated.
And we watching all of the nations still further on taking crafty counsel against us, right? With their laws, with their doctrines, with religion, all of them is contrary to the book. Anything that thus saith the Lord, they don't practice it. And that's how we all growing up. And because I just watched one of the brothers from Sakari was talking to Amari Stoudemire, the ex-NBA player. You know, he turned into
Amari Kunamire,
Kunamire, right?
Yeah,
but you know what he said off the record? He said, I can't say what you said. You can, it's a choice. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to relinquish your prosperity.
Right.
They made a covenant with the wicked to keep us asleep. They don't help us. They get all of this money. They don't do anything. And they know the truth.
Right. Come on.
That's why the Lord said it's hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of the king.
Come on.
They don't want to let go, like Lot's wife. Look back.
Yeah. They don't want to lose their position of power, their wealth. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to lose that. They're not trying to be like the people who they've been looking down upon. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple.
It's the same deal with the pastors. They got all of that money, and they never knew the Most High. They think they knew the Most High. They never knew the Most High, man. They never knew him.
Come on. Get verse 7.
Verse 7, all right. In the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast Pur, that is the lot, before Haman from day to day and from month to month to the 12th month, that is the month of Adar.
Right? So this is the origins of the feast day, Purim. Right? We went into how Esther got into her position of power to being the queen, right? We saw how Queen Vashta was disrespectful. He knocked her out the way, exalted Esther, put her in a position of power. Mordecai saved the king from being killed, right? He saved the king from being killed. So now he in a good position. He set up in a good position. And then here come old biscuit head ass Haman, right? Trying to get Mordecai to bow down to him, and he not bowing down because the Most High gave him a dream, a vision, not to bow down. Y'all finna go to war. He finna try to genocide y'all, right? So, verse 7, it say, in the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast Pur, that is lot, meaning they cast lots. Haman was casting lots, rolling the dice, right? Trying to figure out, hey, when we gonna kill all these niggas, right? It's a set date, right? We in Vegas. That's all they do is gamble out here. That's where that's where they get it from. They get it from Haman, right? Now we gamble too, but it ain't like it ain't like we gambling talking about genociding people. We not doing it like that. Everything they do on the left hand side in wickedness, right? So they gambling, casting lots to see when they gonna kill the children of Israel. What month, what day we gonna do this, right? So he said they cast Pur, that is lot, before Haman from day to day, from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month of Adar. So the set date to kill us was in the month of Adar, the month that we in now, the 12th month of the Hebrew calendar, right? That's the day the lot fell on to genocide the children of Israel.
Let me ask you a question. So is this? So if we go back to
the additions,
right? And it says a little fountain became a river, and there was a light and the sun and much water, and it's saying that the river was Esther. But could they be also speaking about not just Esther here, but could they be speaking about how Haman is getting built up in this kingdom?
No. It's talking about Esther, but it's also talking about Israel too, because we was small amongst the heathen at that time, and then we became big after we were saved and delivered, at the hands of Esther, Mordecai, and the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And King Ahasuerus, right? It ain't had nothing to do with Haman getting built up or nothing.
Okay.
No. Okay. But let's jump to Esther, the 9th chapter and the 24th verse. So now we finna get into precept upon precept to get more historic about Haman, right? Our enemy, our adversary, right? Because this is what the day is about him being slaughtered and killed and us being saved. Because he set to harm us, he set a trap for the children of Israel, like the scriptures say, but he fell into it himself. If you can find that precept for me. They set traps and fall into them themselves. Right, Esther 9 and 24. Esther chapter 9 and verse 24. No, he got that other.
You got it. Yeah. I got him. I'm here already. All right. This is the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews.
The what?
The enemy of all the Jews,
right,
had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast Pur, that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them.
Right. So Haman the Agagite, right? He cast lots. He was the enemies of the Jews, right? He was the enemy of the Jews, and he cast lots to destroy us on the 12th month. That's where it started. That was the root of all this. That's why we named it Purim, right? Lots. We cast lots. They cast lots to kill us, but the Most High had a different lot for us, right? Get that, because he set a trap. He set a trap for us to fall in, but he fell into it himself. Bring that out.
Snares and traps.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 27, verse 26. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein.
Right. So he that diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Haman dug a pit for us, man. That's what he was doing, casting lots. Read.
It's more verse 27. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh.
Right. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him. So that same mischief he was working fell upon him. Right? Read that last part.
That was it.
And the second half of that verse, or that last verse.
That was it.
And when he started from the top, then read it from the top.
It says, "He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him."
What Salaki? What precept is that?
This is 27, chapter 27, verse 26 and 27.
Sirach 26, 27. Yeah, verse 27 again, King.
Gone. Verse 27. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh.
And he shall not know whence it cometh, where it cometh, how it cometh, right? When it's coming. He ain't gonna know. Right? Just gonna catch him from the blind side, the same way it caught Haman off guard. Right? So back to Esther 9 and 24, right? Because Haman, the Agagite, the enemy of the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them. So let's get a quick history of the Agagite. Let's go to 1 Samuel 15 and 8. 1 Samuel 15 and 8. The Agagite is a title given to certain kings of Edom, right? Of the Amalekites. Certain titles, that's all it is. 1 Samuel 15 and 8.
All right, this is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15 and verse 8. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
Right, now this is talking about King Saul. He took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, right? And did what? He utterly destroyed the people with the edge of the sword. As he should. Because we war with these people from generation to generation, man. Right? They are adversaries. They are nemesis. No matter how much they smile in your face, right? No matter how much they say, yeah, bro, you're cool, man. You're my friend. They your enemy.
Never trust them.
Never trust thine enemy.
They come out the womb line.
They come out the womb line, speaking lies, man. Right? You speaking to them peaceably, they speaking peaceably, but it's war in their heart. Right? Jump down to verse 32.
Verse 32. Then said Samuel, bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately. And Samuel said, as thy sword has made woman childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal.
Come on, so Samuel, right? Samuel came with the truth, man. Right? That's who it was in verse 8 as well. It was Samuel. Right? Not Saul. It was Samuel. And Salakia for that. But Samuel said, as thy sword have made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. Right? Because the nation of Edom, the nation of the Amalekites, they kill young, old. Right? They don't care if you 2 years old. If you're a baby, they're going to kill you. Right? They don't care if you 80 years old. They're going to cut you down with the sword. Right? Just like Esau here today, man. He going to cut you down whether you 80 or whether you a baby, man. He don't care. He going to cut your ass down. Right? Just like they cut down that baby Tamir Rice. Right? Or just like they cutting down all our children at Planned Parenthood. Right? That's where the highest murder rate at. Planned Parenthood. You know what I'm saying? So he said, as thy sword have made women childless, right? So shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before Yahweh in Gilgal. Right? He cut him down, man. Right? Because Esau got in his heart, Amalek got in his heart that he's not going to lose none of his children. That all his children are safe. But the Most High sent us, he woke us up to prophesy against these Jewish bastards. These synagogues of Satan, right? Let's go to the book of Exodus 35 and 2. Exodus chapter 30, Ezekiel chapter 35 and 2. All right? And this is what we must do, man, at every chance we get, man. We not in the church just, if you're not talking about Yahweh, right, they don't want to hear nothing. Right? They don't want to hear nothing about Esther. They don't want to hear nothing about Samuel. They don't want to hear nothing about Joshua. They don't want to hear nothing about Moses.
Nobody in the Old.
Nobody in the Old Testament. If you're not talking about Jesus Christ, They're not listening.
Or Paul.
Or Paul.
2. Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35 and 2. Right? If you're not talking about Jesus Christ, man, nobody, they not listening. Right? And then when you start talking about the true Christ, as speaking on him as the scriptures have said, they don't want to listen to that either. Come on.
And it goes to show you they really don't love Christ.
Right.
They really don't care about Christ. Because if you cared about Christ, you would care about what he cared about.
Right.
You would care to understand what he was trying to do and trying to understand.
Yeah, I have to understand.
They don't love them. They don't love Christ.
Right. But the ancient Amalekites, they understood. They knew what was going on. But surely these generations, they have inherited lies and like we have, and believe them because they stand on them. They benefit from that lie. But now it's coming to pass that the lies being exposed right now, and the real truth is coming out that the people who you said was nothing is really the children of God. And it's not me. They inherited the lies. Can you imagine how that felt? At least we went into captivity and somebody else lied too. Right. And lied to their kids too.
Yeah. They inherited.
They inherited lies. And we about to inherit the kingdom.
Right.
All the promise.
Yeah, because that's why he said prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquity of their fathers. Because some of them children, they lived their life. They was born, they lived life, and they died thinking that they was God's chosen people. They didn't suffer no consequences while they lived. They lived, deliciously. You know what I'm saying? Off the backs of slaves, off the backs of Hebrew Israelites, man. So they was born, when they was born and they was children, they had servants they age.
Right.
They our children age with servants doing stuff for them. Hey, do this, tie my shoe, pick this up for me. Right? And then when they get older, they got the same thing and they passing down the slaves to their children. Right. And they die on their deathbed, rich as hell, plantation full of slaves. They think they God's chosen people.
Right.
So they got to come back and find out that they really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Bring that out in Ezekiel 35 and 2, King. Start at the top. Start at verse 1.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying...
So the word of the Lord came unto Ezekiel. Who is the word of the Lord? Yahweh, Christ. That's Christ came unto him saying, right? That's the word of the Lord. But they ain't gonna... Ezekiel ain't read in the churches. Ezekiel not allowed in the Sunday church. They don't let that prophet in the church. But it's clearly saying, moreover, the word, Christ, right, of the Lord came unto me saying. That's Christ right there. Read.
All right. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
Set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Who is Mount Seir? Right? Let's go to Genesis 36 and verse 8. Right? Because the church people don't know who Mount Seir is, because they don't read Genesis. I heard Pastor Mike Todd on the Breakfast Club on the airwaves speaking to millions of people. He straight up said, hey, you ain't got to read the Old Testament. If you're going to start reading the Bible, go straight to Matthew. Jump straight to Matthew. I'm like, what the hell this nigga talking about, man? Niggas gonna choke on that strong meat.
The blind leading the blind.
The blind leading the blind, man.
They got all the characters mixed up.
Why the hell the pastor on the Breakfast Club anyway, and ain't telling nobody that they the children of the Most High, man? Right. That they gotta repent and keep the commandments. That they went in slavery for their disobedience, right? Why the pastor on there telling people not to wear their fringes, man? Right. Not to keep the laws of God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tripping. Genesis 36 and 8.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir.
Who?
Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
So the Most High told Ezekiel, Yahweh told Ezekiel, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesied against it. Right? He's saying, set your face against Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and prophesize against them. Right? Set your face against America. Set your face against Europe. Right? Set your face against Spain, where all these Europeans dwell, and prophesize against it. Right? Read.
And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
Read.
These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Bashir, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz.
Read.
And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare Eliphaz Amalek.
She bare Eliphaz who?
Amalek.
Amalek. So Amalek is the grandson of Esau Edom. Right? Amalek is the grandson of Esau Edom. Read.
And these were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife.
Right, so when he say, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesies against it, we must prophesy against all of Edom, his whole lineage, right? Because they running the earth right now. You know what I'm saying? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? Who is the person that's painting their images in this book right here? Right? It ain't the Chinese man. It ain't the East Indian man. I ain't seen the East Indian man say he was Moses. Right? I ain't see the damn Arab man say he was Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen none of these other nations of people claiming to be the chosen people except for Esau. That's a dead giveaway, man.
From Spain to Maine.
From Spain to Maine. You know what I'm saying? He claiming the name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He claiming the name of the beast, man.
Word.
Right? So he is the beast, right? Esau, Edom is the beast. So when we set our face against Mount Seir, we prophesize against it. We prophesize against Esau and his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, his whole lineage, right? We prophesied against the whole nation of Edom, right?
Huh. If you look right here, Genesis 36 and 16, they were all called dukes. Amalek was a duke.
Yeah, they all dukes. They all dukes. That's where you get Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
You know, they
Duke of Earl.
Yeah, Duke of Earl. All dukes,
Dukes of
man.
Nottingham.
That's where they get that from. You know, it's scripture.
This is
Right?
important to bring out because if you tell Amalek right now, you can't tell him that he is connected to regular Esau Edom. He think he a whole different type of Edomite, if he think he an Edomite. You can't tell him that he connected to them. Well, you got to bring this out. Let him know he a dude.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Let's jump to editions of Esther 10 and 10. Salakia. Additions to Esther chapter 10 and verse 10.
This is the additions of Esther, chapter 10, verse 10. Therefore hath he made two lots. Therefore have he made Salakia.
Matter of
Therefore,
fact, Salakia King. Let's jump to Isaiah 47 and 8. My bad. Isaiah 47 and 8. I'm getting excited. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. You know, as bad as we want to, as bad as we want to cut these devils' head off right now, especially after celebrating the destruction of Nicanor, as bad as we want to cut their heads off right now, we just can't, man. We don't have military might to go against these people, right? We just don't have it. We outnumbered with weaponry, right? We outnumbered with weaponry. One Edomite can be sitting in a secluded area with a drone and he could just drop a bomb in the middle of the hood, right? That's just one person that killed hundreds of us. You know what I'm saying? We can't fight like that.
Well,
That's
he told us vengeance is here. So at the end of the day, if we did have it, vengeance is here.
Yeah.
We have to wait on him.
Yeah, we gotta wait on the Lord to put that spirit on us, and that's why in Corinthians it tell us the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, because we can't go to war physically in today's time. We gotta fight with this right now, with our minds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cast down those wicked imaginations, right? Cast down those thoughts that go against the Most High. That's how we beat them. That's how we defeat them now, because we do not have enough ammunition to go to war with Esau. We wasn't blessed with the sword. That's his blessing, right? We wasn't blessed with the sword. We combat him with these scriptures right here. You know what I'm saying? Because he received the blessing with the sword, man. But that same sword is going to be his destruction, right? It's a blessing and a curse for him.
He got the carnal sword. We got the spiritual sword.
We got the spiritual sword, right? That's why Judas Maccabees, when he got everybody armed up, he got them armed up in the spirit.
Yeah.
Put on that spiritual armor. Right? Bring that out in Isaiah 47:8, because it mentioned in Samuel, 1 Samuel, that since Esau or Amalek, you know, made women become childless, he shall become child. His women shall become childless. Right? So we finna get into that. Isaiah 47:8.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Therefore, hear now, thou art that given to pleasures. Who's given the pleasures? Esau, Edom, man. You just had the Super Bowl here. That's pleasures, right? He made a grip of money off of damn Super Bowl. That's pleasures. He got servants, man. He got warehouses all around here with Israelites slaving in that mud, right? Got slaving in that mud. I even seen at my job at Amazon. You know, I'm on the Jeff. What's his name? Jeff Benzo. What's his name? Jeff Bezos. I'm on the Jeff Bezos plantation, right? I'm on Jeff Bezos plantation. It's Black History Month. They got Black History Month stuff all up in there. I get to the back, right? And I lean on this pole. I was tired. I'm just thinking, like, man, what the hell? I look up. I see a sign. It says slave on that book.
Oh, yeah.
It says slave on that book. Hey, I got offended. I was like, oh, hell no.
Hey.
I went to HR. I said, hold on. I took a picture. I went to HR. I said, what did it mean? You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, that don't mean that. Some Israelites that's up there, they was like looking crazy. They jaw dropped. It was like, it just confirmed that we on the plantation. You know what I'm saying? So I spread the word to whoever wanted to hear, hey man, we on the plantation. Like this is the plantation.
This the new cotton field.
This the new cotton field.
Yeah.
Right? Because we are subject to payments. If you don't think you're a slave, stop paying your bills and see what happens. See how quick the overseers come to your house and start throwing your shit out the door, right? If you don't think you're a slave, right?
That's why Christ said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. You know what I'm saying? Like, pay your taxes. You know, you owe some money. You got a parking ticket. Pay your parking ticket.
Right.
Don't try to. Oh, I'm in the truth, man. This king is wicked. He saw evil. He's still anyway. I ain't paying. Don't pay it.
Right.
Like you said, and see what happens.
See what happens. See what happens. We are subject to payments. If you are a slave to making payments. If you don't think you're a slave, stop making payments. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Because niggas always saying, I ain't no slave. It's a mental thing. You didn't be. No, we are in subjection to these people. And once you realize that, then you are free to move better than other people that's slaves. You know what I'm saying? You're better to move than somebody that don't know who they are. Once you know who you are, once you know where you at, once you realize that you're not in rulership, you can move a little better. Right?
You know and the wicked thing about it is we grow up and say we ain't no slave, but my last name Wilson. I got a social security number. And I got a birth certificate.
Right.
You can't leave the country without your passport.
Right.
And
And if you ain't got a passport, you ain't going nowhere.
You gotta apply for it.
You gotta apply for it. And who you gotta get it from? Your enemy.
Right.
For the one of all things. You know what I'm saying? Once that settle in real good, once you realize that you gotta go to them for everything. I wanted a cell phone. Who I went to? Esau. I wanted something from the restaurant. Who I had to go to? Esau. I'm sick. I need some pills from the hospital. I gotta go to Esau. I need some clothes, some shoes for the kids for the first day of school. I gotta go to Esau. Right? Everything. I needed some candles. Who I had to go to?
Esau.
I needed to sit down in this chair today. Who I got this chair from? Esau. Well, I got it from my brother, but my brother got it from Esau. You know what I'm saying? Everything, man. Everything. I needed some trash bags the other day. Who owned them trash bags?
Esau.
You got to shop with that man for everything.
Hey, what old boy said? He got us paying for grapes, and apples.
Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown. You will not be allowed in my father's house.
That's crazy.
No, but hey, but what he was saying was some real stuff,
It's
man.
real.
Like, dude, we paying for stuff that was free.
Yeah.
Like water and grapes and fruits and that stuff we
That's
paying
what
for.
we read about.
Like, dude, that was the Lord put that here for us.
Yeah.
To eat for free.
In abundance, man.
And now they
In
charging
abundance.
us for it.
They charging us for it, and they curse to the point where they can't grow crops.
Nah.
They can't grow food. Every time they grow food, it's genetically modified. It's tainted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not allowed. They got the curse of Cain on them, man. They everything they touch is spoiled rotten. It's rotten.
That's why they put a lot of chemicals in this. The farmers, they use a lot of chemicals now because the Lord is not giving them that fruitful soil that Gad had before they got here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not blessed by the earth.
Right.
You know
And
what I'm
then,
saying?
Right.
and then again, even if they did, they wouldn't feed us like good fruit.
Nothing right, exactly.
They want to kill us. They want us dead. So of course they're going to modify everything they can to destroy us because they know what's in this book. Just because they ain't read, they know what's in here.
They know what's in here.
Think about this too, right? They got us in you ain't no slave, right? But you hate your job, right? What you want to do, you want to go to get more slave knowledge to make more money. And then when you get the more slave knowledge, right? And you earning a little more money, you go around your people and you show off like I did something. I'm better than you. I got more slave knowledge.
Right.
Honest.
Right.
This is madness. This is madness.
Right. That's facts, man. Hey, we had to breach off a little bit, but hey, it's all facts, man. It's all truth. Right? It said, therefore, Isaiah 47:8, therefore hear now, thou that art given to pleasures, speaking of the Edomites, right? That dwellest carelessly. They reckless out here in these streets, man. They breaking all the commandments, blaspheming the Most High, being hypocritical. A whole nation of hypocrites, right? That's dwelling carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am and none else besides me. They feel like they God. They feel like they unstoppable, right? That nobody can touch them, right? I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So they so prideful to the point where they like, ain't nothing gonna happen to us. My name gonna live on for eternity, forever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna know the loss of children. My children not gonna get genocide, right? My children not gonna get put to death. I'm gonna put everybody else to death, but ain't nothing gonna happen to my children, right? Verse number 9, read.
But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day.
And when?
In a moment and one day.
These two things, the loss of children and becoming a widow, gonna happen in one day. Read.
The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
Right, because Esau, that's his power, deception, deceit, sorcery, witchcraft. That's his power. The media, that's sorcery. That's witchcraft. Politics, that's sorcery. That's witchcraft.
Bomb.
Dropping bombs out the sky, nuclear bombs out the sky. That's sorcery and witchcraft, right? Religion is full of sorcery and witchcraft. They teach you in religion in the Catholic Church that Jesus is God, right? That Jesus is the Most High.
He is God.
He is God, and if you don't agree with that, you crazy. They not dealing with you because you believe on the Bible wholeheartedly. You believe the Bible for what it is. You're not believing in the Greek mythology or the Egyptology that they mixed in with the scriptures. They tell you the Holy Trinity or the Immaculate Conception. Mary was a damn virgin and a ghost got her pregnant. You know what I'm saying? They tell you this, that's sorcery and witchcraft. You know what it do to your mentality? When you think of that, it take your mind off the reality of this world. Right? Like I never be like Jesus. Why should I even try to be like Christ? Why should I even try to be like H.O.I? I can't do that. He the only one that could ever do that. So now I'ma just, I'ma still live in sin, but I believe in God though. You know what I'm saying?
They working literally against everything Christ came to work for.
Con.
He literally came to show us that it can be done.
Right.
That's why he was born like unto his brethren.
That's
Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
so it's
right.
like Christians, if you really look at it, bro, like they hate the Most High.
They hate him
Christ.
with a perfect hatred. Cause as soon as you bring his word out, his genealogy out, oh, that don't mean nothing. That's endless genealogies. Somebody thought they cut me with that. They was like, that's endless genealogies. You come from the seed of David. That's endless genealogy. I'm like, bruh. Oh, you get a headache talking to them, man. It's a headache because they right. You know what I'm saying? They own eyes. They right. And you just look at them and be like, damn, the Most High finna judge you. Finna get cut down. Damn. Sayonara, buddy.
But they are.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 39:24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. So,
Come on. Fire precept.
At the end of the day, they ain't, they wicked as hell, so there's gonna be stumbling blocks.
Right.
They ain't gonna never get it.
Right.
There ain't no holiness in them.
It ain't for them.
It ain't for them.
It ain't for them.
Yep.
It's only a remnant that's gonna be chosen. Even seeing the destruction, reading this and reading this prophecy in Isaiah, and the Most High speaking about the destruction of our adversaries, they can't accept that. They cast this down to the ground. They cast the Most High words down to the ground because they can't accept the white man being punished for his sins. You know what I'm saying? They just can't accept that, man. Right? Let's go to the editions of Esther, chapter 16 and verse 10. In order for us to obtain salvation, we got to see the destruction of our enemies. It don't happen without it. We're not going to be saved without seeing our enemies destroyed, man. Additions to Esther chapter 16 and start at verse 10.
This is the edition of Esther, chapter 16, starting 9 or 8?
10.
All right, verse 10. For Ammon, the Macedonian.
The Macedonian mean Ammon was a Greek, right?
Yep.
That was the right hand man of Ahasuerus, the king of Persia. He was Greek, right? He wasn't a part of the Persian bloodline, right? He was a heathen. They both was heathens, but he was a devil, right?
Yeah,
Read.
Top devil.
Right.
Right. The son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood.
A stranger from the Persian blood. So he didn't even move like the Persians, man. Esau let the woman run the household, right? He's completely 360 from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Full circle. He's completely in opposition to what the Most High stand for. The Most High set rank and order. Esau ain't got no rank and order. You know what I'm saying? Whoever ruling that day, that's who ruling. Right? That's just what it is. He's being indeed a stranger from Persian blood. Even the Persian said, hey, the woman ain't finna disrespect me in the house, man. Even the Persian man had that common sense. The man run the household. Esau ain't got that common sense. Right? Read.
I'll read from the top. For Ammon, a Macedonian, the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us,
right, read,
has so far forth obtained the favor that we show toward every nation, as that he was called our father.
Because Haman or Ammon, he was noble. He was in a position of power. Just like our people look up to Sleepy Joe, man. Our people look up to Joe Biden. Right? Joe Biden just went to some Jake house, broke bread, had a meal, because it's election year. He need the black votes. You know what I'm saying? So you have some gullible so-called black people, right, that's going to vote for him because he went and ate in the house with some black people, so-called black people. Right? He was noble.
In our church, Salaki, our church, the churches, right? They get paid See, this is they made these covenants with the wicked, man. The churches get paid. So what's gonna happen? Donald Trump gonna haul his ass into all of these Catholic and Baptist churches, and our pork chop eating pastor gonna be up there. Oh, listen to this message. He gonna usher us in, because you know and understand we don't read, we destroy for lack of information, bro. We don't know the truth.
Right, right. Come on, bring it up. Verse 11.
Okay. Has so far forth obtained the favor that he showed toward every nation, as that he was called our Father, and was continually honored of all men as the next person unto the king.
Right, so he was honored of all men, the next person to the king. So he was the king's right-hand man, right? So if something was to happen to the king, he would be in the king's stead.
Right.
So that goes to show you that he probably had something to do with them niggas trying to run up on the king.
Right.
Right? Because you can't put nothing past Esau. He probably sent the word, hey, y'all kill the king, and I'll be in power, and I'll give y'all some type of rank. You know what I'm saying?
The king put him over the princes.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. Verse number 12. Read.
But he, not bearing his great dignity, went about to deprive us of our kingdom and life. Right.
So he not bearing his great dignity, right? He went about to deprive us of our kingdom and life. So he started to oppress us. He started to persecute us out of hatred that's in his blood, right? That rivalry that the Most High said in Genesis, that enmity between thy seed and thy serpent and the serpent seed is that rivalry. So he started to persecute us, oppress us, right? And oppress and what is it? Discriminate, right? Discriminate against the children of Israel, right? Next verse, read.
Having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction, as well as Mordocius.
That's
Mordecai.
That's Mordecai in the Hebrew.
Okay, I'm gonna just say that. Having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction, as well as of Mordecai, who saved our life and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom with their whole nation.
Right, having manifold and cunning deceits. That goes into that multitude of sorcery and witchcraft, right? And enchantments, right? Sought of us the destruction. So he cast them lots, and he wanted to genocide our people, right? He wanted to take us down. If he cast the lots at the beginning of the year, and the lot fell at the end of the year. So all that time, he's preparing to destroy us. He's persecuting us, killing us in the streets, accusing us falsely, doing everything to us to weaken us as a nation, right? And it says, and continually procured our goods, as also blameless Esther, Salakia, as well of Mordecaius, who saved our life, and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom with their whole nation. Verse 14, read.
For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to Macedonia.
Right, so this is the plot of Haman, right? This the background of Haman, his intentions. He wanted to isolate the children of Israel, turn everybody. He wanted to destitute us of friends. He wanted to turn all the nations against us, make us look bad, and then he wanted to translate the kingdom of the Persians to the Greeks, right? He wanted to, that was his whole thing. He wanted to be the cancer on the inside of the kingdom, infiltrating the Persian Empire, the Persian Median Empire, and then he wanted to overthrow it and take over with his people, with the Greeks.
Playing both sides.
Playing I spy, right? He was a spy. That was his whole intention. He was setting traps, not only for Israel, he was setting a trap for the Persian Empire too, man. Because Esau wanted it all. He wanted everything. You know what I'm saying? So let's go down to the, what is that? Additions to Esther. Keep reading, now.
Yeah, that's all. All right. Esther, additions to Esther, chapter 15. But we find that the Jews, whom this has delivered to utter destruction, are no doers, but live by most just laws.
Right. We are no evildoers. We live by the laws of the Most High, man. We hate evil. We hate the evil that sent us at times. We hate the evil that sent other people. We don't desire to be evil, man. We don't desire to just blatantly commit sin. You know, especially once the Most High wake you up to who you are. You like, damn, now I got to be right. And if I slip, I feel remorseful. If I feel bad, we not just out here doing evil. That's not what we doing. We might slip and fall, but we get our ass back up again because we know where the promise at. Right? We're not trying to get left behind.
So basically, what this is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mordecai was casting lots and trying to make a comparison between the Jews and the Macedonians, but when it all came to light, the Jews was upright and just in the law.
Right. You mean Haman?
I mean Haman
cast the lots.
Haman cast the lots.
Yeah, that's it, man. He cast a lot against the Most High's chosen people. That's we are the Most High's lot. Right? Go to the editions of Esther chapter 10 and verse 10. Right? He casting lots against the chosen. Right? He casting lots against the chosen.
This is the editions of Esther chapter 10 verse 10. Therefore he hath made two lots, one for the people of God.
Who are the people of God? The children of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? We are the chosen people. We are the people of the Most High. Read.
And another for all the Gentiles.
Who are the Gentiles? The Edomites, the Amalekites, and the heathen nations, the other heathen nations. They are the Gentiles, natural Gentiles. Verse 11, read.
And these two lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment before God among all nations.
Read.
So God remembered his people and justified his inheritance.
Right, so while Haman casting lots, right, the Most High remembering us and justifying his inheritance. Yeah, you rolled the dice and say you finna genocide my people in the month of Adar, but this what I'm finna do. Right? You finna fall into your own pit that you dug. Right? The Most High gonna justify his inheritance. We are his inheritance. The sons of Jacob. Right? Go to Deuteronomy 32 and 9. And we're gonna close out probably about 5-10 more minutes.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Jacob is what?
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Right, and the Most High gonna justify his inheritance for everything that we done, man. We're gonna be justified by the Most High, right? Because a lot of our wicked and evil doings, it was pushed on us. It was forced on us. A lot of it, a majority of it was, right? We didn't ask for them to put porn everywhere and make it so accessible. We didn't ask them to put, idols everywhere and make it so accessible, right? We some gullible people, man. We gullible. We love everybody. But once we translate that love from everybody to just our nation, that's when we ain't got to go to our enemies for the want of all things no more, man. I can go to the brother, hey, man, hey, Kazak, man, let me hold some medicine, that I need for my household. You like, man, it's all good. You got a plethora of herbs and natural medicines that can heal, and I ain't got to go to Esau, right? I go to my brother over there for some clothing. He got all the clothing that I need for the household. You know what I'm saying? Go to the sister for food and groceries. You know what I'm saying? The sister got all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? She chopping the chicken heads off in the backyard, plugging them in everything from scratch. Everything fresh. Right. I ain't got to go to our enemies, man. Right? But the Most High is the one that's going to justify us because we are the lot of his inheritance. We are the Lord's portion. Out of all the nations in the world, 18 nations on the planet, the Most High chose us. the children of Israel, right? So today or yesterday was the celebration of today still, but yesterday before sundown was the celebration of Judas Maccabees, and we celebrate Purim the day after, right? Go to Second Maccabees 15 and 28. Second Maccabees 15 and 28, because the catch is we celebrate the destruction of Nicanor, the day of Judas Maccabees. We celebrated the day before Purim, but Purim happened before, timeline wise. Purim happened before the day of Judas Maccabees. You know what I'm saying? So 15, and we're gonna read down to verse 36.
Okay, this is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 15, verse 28. Now when the battle was done, returning again with joy, they knew that Nicanor lay dead in his harness.
Right, so we killed this Edomite, man. This Edomite got put to death, right? This Edomite got put to death, got his head cut off all the way to his arm, right? Got chopped up, right? Nicanor was one of the commanders sent by Antiochus to suppress the Maccabean revolt, right? Verse 29, read.
Then they made a great shout and a noise, praising the Almighty in their own language.
Their own language is the Hebrew tongue, right? Read.
And Judas, who was ever the chief defender of the citizens, both in body and mind, and who continued his love toward his countrymen all his life, commanded to strike off Nicanor's head and his hand with his shoulder and bring them to Jerusalem.
Right, so when he struck off Nicanor's head, he cut off his head, his shoulder, and his arm. Like all this right here got cut off. Right, and that's how he brought him back, with just that arm and that head.
That shoulder.
You know what I'm saying? For a spectacle, right? Because this the man that was going hard to persecute us, right? Verse 30, read. Verse 31, read.
So when he was there and called them of his nation together and set the priests before the altar, he sent for them that were of the tower. And he showed them vile Nicanor's head and the hand of that blasphemer, which was which with proud brags he had stretched out against the holy temple of the Almighty.
Right, Nicanor was a blasphemer. He disrespected the Most High several times. Right, he was real proud. He used to brag on how he used to slaughter us, how he used to defile the temple, profane the temple. Right, verse 33, read.
And when he had cut out the tongue of that ungodly Nicanor, he commanded that they should give it by pieces unto the fowls and hang up the reward of his madness before the temple. So every man praised toward the heaven the glorious Lord, saying, Blessed be he that hath kept his own place undefiled.
Read.
He hanged also Nicanor's head upon the tower, an evident and manifest sign unto all of the help of the Lord. And they ordained all with a common decree, in no case to let that day pass without solemnity.
Solemnity.
I got teeth missing, so y'all got to bear with me. I'm gonna get it fixed though. Solemnity. But to celebrate the 30th day of the 12th month, which in the Syrian tongue is called Adar, the day before Mordecai's day.
Right. So the day before Mordecai's day, we are to celebrate the feast of the destruction of Nicanor. You know what I'm saying? That was before sundown. We was in the spirit from yesterday's sundown to today's sundown of the destruction of Nicanor. Right? The day before the feast of or Mordecai's day, what it was known as, Mordecai's day, feast of Purim. Right? So We're going to get 2 more precepts. Go to Esther 9 and 20. We're going to go to the established, the Purim being established. Now, we didn't go into certain precepts, going into where Haman had gallows made for us to hang us on. You know, he set up this huge spectacle that he wanted to present and hang the children of Israel on these gallows, right? But the king find out Esther was terrified to go tell the king what his right-hand man had planned. You know, she had to pray on it several times. And she finally got the courage to go to the king and let him know, because she could have been killed. You know what I'm saying? Going against his second-hand man. Right-hand man in command. You know what I'm saying? So she told him, the Spirit of the Lord came upon her, she told him, and he was wroth, he was angry. And he used them gallows to kill Haman and his sons. Right? So Haman was put to death. He rode that lot and wanted to genocide us, but his lot was to get put to death at that same time. He didn't even know it though. Right? So Esther 9 and 20, bring that out.
All right, this is the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far.
Right. So at first it was what's his name? Mumakan. Mumakan. First it was Mumakan writing letters about the household. Now Mordecai writing letters now. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's up there in rank now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Read.
As the to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly.
Right, so it's a 2-day celebration today, and then tomorrow at sundown it will be the 2nd day of the celebration. The party don't stop, it keep going. We rolling into the Sabbath turned up. I hope I don't have a hangover on the Sabbath. I hope I don't have a hangover on the Shabbat. Right, verse number 22, read.
As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy.
From sorrow to joy. We were sorrowful and now we're joyful. Read.
Right. And from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another and gifts to the poor.
Right, sending portions one to another and gifts to the poor, man. So it went from a day of being sorrowful, a day of anticipation and fear, to being relieved in peace. You know what I'm saying? A day of conflict and adversity to a day of calmness, right? And that's how the Most High do, man. He have you on edge, thinking you finna get put to death. You know what I'm saying? Thinking something bad finna happen, and you like, you know, freaking out a little bit. You like, damn, what's going on? Then next thing you know, there go peace, man. There go the peace that Christ give you. Not how the world give you, but how the Heavenly Father give you, right? And that's what the day is about, man. That's what the day is about. You know, us rejoicing, celebrating the destruction of our enemies. It's somewhat of a love story, right? The love that the Most High have for the nation, the love that Esther had for the nation, right? She was raised right. She was raised like Susanna, right? In the history of Susanna, she was a God-fearing woman, you know, and she loved her people, man. And Mordecai did too, you know, and we got to stick together no matter what, you know, because like I always say, man, they're not gonna worry about what camp or congregation you with when they come down on us. Oh, you Jake, you a Hebrew Israelite? What? Okay, that's all they want to hear. You Hebrew, you keeping the laws of God? That's all they want to hear, and then it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
That's all they know.
That's all they know, man. Bloodshed and more bloodshed. One more precept, Isaiah 61 and 3, and we're gonna close out with this one. So we could feast and be merry. I'm ready to turn up.
Isaiah, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes.
That's blessings and peace, right? That beauty is blessings and peace. That ashes is sorrow, right? Travail, afflictions. right? That's the ashes, to give them beauty, blessings, and peace for ashes, sorrow and conflict. Read.
The oil of joy for mourning.
We're joyful now. We're not mourning. We're not in the state of mourning on this feast day. We're joyful. Read.
The garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. That they might be called trees of righteousness.
Ye are the branches.
Come.
Ye are the branches. We the trees of righteousness. Read.
And the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified.
And it's all for the Most High. He's going to be glorified at the end of the day. Because this who ordained everything, right? The Most High is going to get all the glorification, right? We tend, I mean, not us, but a lot of Christians, they seem to give Satan more glory than the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Satan this, Satan that, Satan this. No, it's the Most High trying you. It's the Heavenly Father putting you through these adversities. It's the Most High testing you, trying you as fine gold, right? So that concludes the lesson tonight, man. We give the Most High all praise, honor, and glory, man. By H.O.I, all praises. The feast of Purim. We can feast and be merry. It's time to turn up now. Shalom, Yasharallah.
Shalom.